What's up, everybody, and welcome to Youwager this week. I am Gabriel Morency. This podcast is powered by Youwager.eu. If you haven't already signed up, do it, guys. 5% juice on Fridays, and we've got a couple of kick-ass college football games this Friday night that we'll take a look at over the next couple of minutes with you. The Raging Redhead Cam Stewart will join me on the Youwager this week weekend edition. But I say it every week, and every week I say, man, I can't believe we're already into week 4. I can't believe we're already into week 5. Here we are right now, going into week 6 of National Football League play. College football games importance start to climb on a weekly basis. Man, there's a lot of stuff going on. Major League Baseball playoffs. It's funny because the weather on the East Coast right now, Canada, States, etc., is very, very balmy. So, it's sort of easy to forget. Holy crap, man. Here we are. We're already into week 6 of the National Football League regular season. Now, Bill Parcells said, "You are what your record says you are." Now, he said that after 8 games. So when you're 8 games in, there's you are what your record says you are. And, even though we're going in to week 6 here, I'm still not sure who some of these teams are, but we're going to find out a lot as the weeks go. I mean, really. Right now, the New York Jets are a first-place football team. Does anybody really believe the New York Jets are going to be a first-place team in like 2 weeks from now? No, right? But are the Philadelphia Eagles? Are the Philadelphia Eagles for real? Are the Carolina Panthers for real? Are the Dallas Cowboys in trouble? Is Derek Carr going to come back and save the Raiders suddenly? There's a lot of question marks out there about a lot of football teams. So let's get down to business. We have a rarity in which we actually have an interesting Thursday night game, although we did last week as well. With Tampa Bay and the New England Patriots. So let's get down to business. Start off with the Philadelphia Eagles. Let's take a look at the number. It's -3 at Youwager right now. Carolina Panthers -3, -180 on the money line. Philadelphia Eagles +160 on the money line. Over-under is 46. And I'll tell you what, Philadelphia Eagles playing some really good football, and people aren't talking about it. Carson Wentz is a freaking stud, man. This guy's a stud. All the weapons that they have on offense, it's all coming to fruition for them. Jim Schwartz does a great job with the talent that he has. They do a great job. The thing with the Eagles is, listen, their secondary gives up like 255 yards a game or so in the air. So they do give up chunks, but it is a very bend but don't break situation. And truth be told, if you look at the yards that are given up this year, the fact of the matter is the Eagles have been leading pretty much in every football game that they've played in this year. So, the Eagles are playing good football, with the exception of the Kansas City game, which was a real close game. You look at the Carolina Panthers, and everyone was really down on the Panthers, including myself. The Panthers opened up the season a sort of, nonchalant win in the Bay Area against San Francisco. They won against the Buffalo Bills. Even though Carolina were winning games, it felt like they were losing games because they didn't look good doing it. Yet, the fact of the matter is, you are what your record says you are. And what the record says they are is a 4-1 football team right now, and they're getting pretty confident. I'll tell you what, even though Greg Olsen is in there, they're getting pretty healthy right now. Cam Newton the last 2 weeks he's looking like the MVP Cam Newton once again. And I think it comes down to a health situation. The offensive line doing a better job of protecting him over the last couple of weeks as well. And you look at this Philadelphia Eagle team, I keep waiting for them to stumble. And I will admit, I like the Arizona Cardinals this past week. Against Philadelphia. I bought in late. I bought into 2 games late with the Miami Dolphins and Arizona. And, I had some good picks this past weekend, but when it was all said and done, it was a train wreck. It was a train wreck. I'll put it this way. My Youwager account isn't as big as it was last week. We'll put it that way. But it is what it is. I've been betting for a long time, and I understand. Sometimes you're going to go on tilt, and nothing's going to go your way. But looking at this football game, key injury situation here, all right? We're talking about health. Let's talk about the Philadelphia Eagle situation. Let's talk about Lane Johnson. Lane Johnson always gets suspended for supplements. I didn't know what I was taking and all that type of stuff. But the guy's a hell of a football player, right tackle for the Philadelphia Eagles. So at least he's not suspended right now, but he's under the concussion protocol, and he hasn't been practicing. He's not going to be playing in this football game, all right? It's a short week. Don't expect Lane Johnson to be playing. Keep your eye on it, but he's out. Everyone knows he's out of this game. And how important is this? Like, Lane Johnson's not a household name, especially in the fantasy football era that we live in right now. People don't really talk about the lines, but that's why the Eagles are good. Their offensive line is damn good. and their defensive line is damn good. You win and lose football games in the trenches, all right? You might be selling the sizzle, but the steak is what wins and loses football games in the trenches. But in the trenches. So this is with Lane Johnson in the lineup. And this is courtesy of Philadelphia Eagle beat writer Jeff Kerr, one of their beat writers, Jeff Kerr. I like to give credit for this information. I didn't spend the time to do the math. So Jeff Kerr did. I'll give you credit for it, Jeff Kerr. So when Lane Johnson is in the lineup with Carson Wentz is 9-2. The Eagles are 9-2 with Lane Johnson in the lineup with Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz completes 65.7% of his passes. He's thrown for 2,766 yards, 20 touchdown passes, 5 interceptions, 99.9 quarterback rating when Lane Johnson's protecting him. When Lane Johnson's not there, Carson Wentz is 2-8 straight up. He's got 12 interceptions and 6 touchdown passes. You know, those are pretty strong numbers that tell you, you know what, when this Johnson dude ain't there protecting Wentz, Wentz isn't as comfortable. He's rushing things. Now, I think that they can handle the loss of Johnson better now than they have in the past. And like I said, I keep on waiting for Philadelphia to stumble. I don't think Arizona's a great team. I liked Arizona over 8.5 this year win total, but what the hell are you going to do? I can't predict that David freaking Johnson's going to get hurt. I like the win total over for the Vikings. I can't predict that Bradford, although I should. Yeah, I could have predicted that. And freaking Dalvin Cook, man. You know, it's been a frustrating year. It's funny, I don't play a lot of futures. This year I play futures, and pretty much every team I play a future on, their star players get hurt, of course. One future that I have that I do like, I got the Bears under 5.5, and Bears are going to have a tough time winning games. Their schedule is going to be tough. But ultimately, like I said, I keep waiting for the Eagles to struggle. I think this is the spot. Home teams do very well. I was talking with Donnie Rightside over at SBR, Donnie Rightside about this, and Donnie Rightside brought up the fact that Thursday night games, blindly, 68% of the time the home team wins. The short week, it's always been a home team. Generally, it's been an under on Thursdays, but not so much anymore, and I think we could have some points in this football game. I like the Carolina Panthers here, guys. It was 3.5 earlier in the day, actually, down to 3 right now. So, yeah, I like the Carolina Panthers in this game. I think the Panthers are going to get it done. I think the Eagles are going to struggle on the road here. And I'll tell you one thing with the Panthers. I thought they were in kind of some trouble when they lost Greg Olsen. But the fact is, Christian McCaffrey scores his first touchdown. He's starting to loosen up a little bit right now, get acclimated to the National Football League. You got Jonathan Stewart. You got McCaffrey. You got a strong run game. Carolina are just a physical football team. They're not easy to play. This is going to be a fun game, man. And the winner of this game is going to be 5-1 and pretty much, I'm not going to say, in the playoffs already, but on their way. On their way, man. We'll put it that way. All right, leads us into the Cleveland Browns and the Houston Texans. Texans laying 10 points in this game. The Browns are a disaster. Hugh Jackson's now 1-20 straight up. 1-15 last year, now 0-5 this year for the Cleveland Browns. You got to wonder about Jackson, too. Jackson's a good coordinator. I don't even know if he's a bad coach. Cleveland or Cleveland. I'm not so sure. I mean, Bill Belichick used to be the coach of the Cleveland Browns. If you're a younger guy and you're unaware of that, Bill Belichick, all right, New England Patriot head coach, used to be the coach of the Cleveland Browns. He went 4-12. Yeah, so even like Bill Belichick or Vince Lombardi himself can't save the Cleveland Browns. So I don't know if it's Hugh Jackson's fault. I'm not really in a hurry to like 10 points here, but one thing with Houston, we saw Houston when they beat the crap out of Tennessee. They didn't call off the dogs. They put up 57 freaking points. The NFL's not college. Teams, the coaches in the NFL like to get real comfortable before they call off the dogs. So this one could get ugly, actually. Deshaun Watson's the real deal, man. Deshaun Watson didn't even start the first game. He's put up the second most fantasy points at the quarterback position. So Browns are laying 10, money line minus 475. Cleveland Browns plus 375 on the money line, over under 47 in that football game. The Patriots were 9.5-point favorites. Youwager has it up to 10 right now. Pats are minus 500 on the money line, 47.5. Jets are plus 400 ML. Jets, Jets. Fireman Ed and the New York Jets enjoying a 3-game win streak right now. It's the first time ever in Josh McCown's career. And it's funny because Josh McCown was 2-20 in his last 22 games as starting quarterback in the NFL. And dude's won 3 games in a row for the first time in his career, and he's been around a while. He's never won 3 games before. And I got to tell you, I will admit it, I was wrong. I thought the New York Jets were going to be a 2-win football team this year. Maybe they win 3 games all year. They're already at 3, but their schedule is going to get more difficult right now. And it's freaking crazy, man, that this game is actually for first place. And it's crazy that the bet out there was, will a team go 0-16 this year? And everybody thought it would be the Jets, and it might be the other New York team, but we'll get to that momentarily. But the thing with me with this football game is the New York Jets aren't that good. You know, if you look at the games that they've won, it's not as though they've beaten good teams. It's not as though the Jets have beaten good teams. They've been at the right spot at the right time, essentially. Like, what's the Jets' best win? I guess you could say Jacksonville. You know, but they got Jacksonville coming back from London without a bye. You know, they got the Miami Dolphins. They got the Miami Dolphins in a good spot. I'm giving them credit. I'm not taking anything away from the Jets, but they beat the Dolphins. They beat the Jags in overtime. They could have lost that game. The Browns game, the Browns actually dominated the Jets, but the Browns are the Browns. They kept turning the ball over in the red zone all the time. So it's not like the Jets are dominating or anything like that. And the thing is with this game is the Patriots are going to be taking this game seriously. It's for first place. You don't think Bill Belichick's getting pissed off right now that we're in a week 6 and the Buffalo Bills and the New York Jets of the world are like tied with them? You know, Belichick's going to say, all right, guys, now it's time to, step up and pull away. This is, now it's getting ridiculous now. And another thing is the Patriots played on Thursday, so they even have more time to prepare, more time to get healthier. And teams that are coming off the extended break this year, I believe it's perfect against the spread. It's like, we'll confirm it on Friday. I'll crunch the numbers, actually, to get the exact numbers. But it really is. If we go through the timeline here, it really is. The teams coming off the break have covered, like, every freaking game. And teams that play on Monday night haven't, which will actually be interesting with the Minnesota Vikings. Hard not to like the Green Bay Packers in that spot. All right, so as I'm stating, the Patriots are laying 10 points here. I think they tattooed them. The Jets don't have any running backs either. They got a ton of injuries. I think the Patriots step up. This is where the Jets get grounded, so to speak. Traffic control. Time to land the plane. Patriots blast them. We'll be laying a 10 there. Falcons coming off a bye week after their loss to the Buffalo Bills. The Falcons are laying 11.5 points right now over at Youwager.eu. It's 11.5, minus 650 on the money line, plus 475 on the money line. Over under is 46.5 in this game. I'm a big Falcon believer. Everybody's sort of giving up on the Falcons. You know, Green Bay looks like the best team in the NFC right now, but don't forget Atlanta beat them a couple of weeks ago, right? So I said this before the year started. I said it's either, it's going to come down. It wouldn't surprise me if it's Green Bay, Atlanta. I also thought Seattle were going to be in the mix, and Seattle still could be in the mix, even though they suck. They might win that crappy division, and then, in the playoffs, anything can happen. This game is weird. I'm not really in a hurry to be laying 11.5 here, to be honest with you. The number's too high, and it's too bad. I like betting on the Falcons, but I don't trust the Dolphins. I don't trust the Dolphins. I don't know. Especially you saw the Dolphins. The offensive line coach doing some blow, filming it and sending it to a stripper. That's smart stuff. No wonder the Dolphins suck. Dolphins getting 11.5. I don't have a strong opinion on this game. Like I said, I don't know. Would it surprise you if the Falcons won by 10? Or would it surprise you if they won by 13, 14? I'll tell you, the fact the Falcons lost their last game to the Bills, and you have another sort of average team coming to town, home game. The Falcons are going to be in a bad mood. They probably blast them, but I don't like laying 11.5 points. The Detroit Lions, the Saints are up to 5. I'm rocking an old school Colston jersey right now. Saints are up to 5 here. Might be a little bit high. I know Matt Stafford's banged up, so keep your eye on that. If you want to gamble, literally gamble, like we did this last week, in which I didn't think Mariota was going to play, and we got the Dolphins at +3, and, we took advantage of that. So here's the situation here. We just take for granted that Matt Stafford's going to play every damn game, man. They're getting 5 points. I'm not so sure that I want to be laying 5 points here. The Saints are a very trendy pick this week. Be careful with that. They're minus 230 on the money line. The Detroit Lions are plus 190 on the money line. Over-under is 50 in this game. San Francisco 49ers. A lot of big spreads this week. San Francisco getting 10 points at Washington. Minus 500 on the money line. Niners plus 400 on the money line. Over-under is 46.5. I would tend to believe that the Redskins blast them. In San Francisco, all these road games, they're going to start catching up to San Francisco. San Francisco were in Arizona. San Francisco played on that Thursday night against the Rams. Then they were off. Then they went to Arizona. Not much of a trip for them. But then they went to Indianapolis, back to the West Coast, now back to Washington. Back-to-back early morning kickoffs as well. There's a lot of bad scenarios and trends that go against the San Francisco 49ers in this spot. Like I said, we locked down our picks on the Friday edition, the weekend edition with Cam Stewart on this with this stuff. But right now, I tell you, I'm leaning with the Washington Redskins. And we'll recap what I think are the best bets of the week. My early best bet leans. We got the Rams and the Jaguars. The Rams and the Jags. This game, I'm looking forward to this game, actually. And I've had a hard time reading the Jags. I've always thought Doug Marrone's a decent coach, but I never thought that Nate Hackett, the offensive coordinator, was a smart guy. I think he's an idiot. But I got to be honest with you. Nate Hackett is no longer the worst offensive coordinator in the league. We could do a whole damn video about this, and I think I might on the Fantasy Sports Network, actually. I've been talking, offensive coordinators are freaking brutal nowadays. Instead of, look, you got the Monken guy. Todd Monken's an idiot in Tampa Bay. Former head coach of Southern Mississippi, who was 13-26 as the head coach. They went like 1-12 all the time. And somehow this guy's never been an offensive coordinator ever, and he gets a job in the NFL with the Bucs. Same thing. The Todd Downing guy with the Raiders. I didn't even realize they fired Bill Musgrave. That makes sense. You go 12-4. Let's fire our offensive coordinator. Now your offense sucks. But anyway, so we got the Jags. I've been hit or miss with the Jag games this year, but we got the Jags laying 2.5 at Youwager to the Rams. And, I really think that I think it's a bad spot for the Rams. I've been on the Rams a lot this year, okay? I really have been. The only game I haven't been on the Rams, actually, I didn't bet the first game against the Colts. I just didn't touch it. I took the Redskins in week 2, and I was correct. And then since then, I've been on the Rams every game. No, sorry, I was on San Francisco that Thursday nighter, actually. We backdoored it with the crazy finish. So that's true. So anyways, I'm not an anti-Ram guy or anything like that. I like betting on young, fresh teams because people don't believe in them. I think you get value. But I think this is a tough spot for them. Going to San Francisco was one thing. And even going to Dallas, Dallas doesn't really have a distinct home field advantage. Dallas lose a lot of games at home. It's, it's a big stadium, but it's kind of a cushy, comfortable place for teams to go play. I think this is a difficult spot. You got a West Coast team going to the East Coast, going to Florida. They're catching a break that it's a 4:05 Eastern kickoff here. But I do believe that an offense like the Rams are going to struggle on the road against the Jags. The thing with the Jags is this is a big test for the Jags. Can the Jags step up and string together a couple of wins? Are you for real? Because I tell you what, you're hanging around right now, Jacksonville. As crazy as it sounds, man. And I think there's going to be a changing of the guard in the NFL this year and in the next couple of years, and it's already begun. New York Giants suddenly suck. Eli looks old. Ben Roethlisberger wants to retire. There's an opening for some upstarts this year. There really is. And, you look at Jacksonville. You're 3-2 right now. You're in first place. This is a winnable football game. This is a big game for Jacksonville at home as well. Like, if you're a Jag fan, there's not a lot of meaningful games at home. This is. It's a big game. It's not a division team, but, man, you can improve to 4-2. The Colts are 2-3. They got Andrew Luck coming back, so this division's still wide open right now. Big game. I like Jacksonville in this spot. I'm leaning Jacksonville minus the 2.5. They're minus 150 on the money line. I'd probably just lay the minus 150 on the money line as opposed to 2.5, minus 125, over under 43. Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Arizona Cardinals. Lean Bucks, but it's a tough game. Lean Bucks, but that's a tough one. I don't know. Arizona's better at home. Tampa Bay, I don't really like Dirk Cutter as the head coach. They're kind of flaky. That was a winnable game. And it wasn't just the field goal kicks that they missed last week. They're just flaky. The play calling's bad. Jameis Winston's kind of lethargic at times. I can't buy into Tampa Bay. I don't trust them here. I'm not going to touch this game. Arizona just burnt me. But I don't trust Tampa laying 2.5, minus 135 on the money line. Over under is 44. Kansas City Chiefs laying 4.5 to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Steelers are a mess. You're playing a Jags team. You're playing a Jags team that's very good against the pass, and that's why I like them against the Rams as well. I think the They can shut down the passing attack, and I don't think that Todd Gurley is going to be able to run that successfully on them. Pittsburgh, a lot of people think Pittsburgh are going to bounce back here. The Kansas City Chiefs are the only team in the NFL. They're undefeated, but they're also the only team that's they've covered all 5 games. The Buffalo Bills were the only other team that had covered every week, and the Bills didn't cover. They were getting 3. They lost by 4 against the Bengals. Chiefs are laying 4.5 here. A lot of people think Pittsburgh are going to bounce back. I don't think so. Pittsburgh aren't a great road team. It's minus 220 on the money line, over under 46. I think KC enjoy winning. And I compared Kansas City of this year to Carolina from a couple of years ago, in which you're like, they're not going to cover again. Yeah, they are. They're that good. And the market price, to me, the spread should be higher in this game. I like it. New York Giants are in a lot of freaking trouble. Everybody's hurt. They're beaten down. I don't see how they're going to score in this game. I don't like betting NFL unders that much, but I don't see where the points are going to come from here. I think Denver win this game like 20-6, 23-10. And maybe 20. If it could get uglier, maybe it could be a blowout, 35-7 or something. But I think Denver will just do enough. I'm not in a hurry to lay the 11.5 here. I'm going to want to see who's actually playing for the Giants and who isn't. But the Giants have actually competed in all 5 games that they played in this year. I'm not going to say they competed because in week 1 they sucked at Dallas and they were flat against the Lions in week 2. But I'm going to say it's not like the Giants didn't try. It's not like, we don't care. They cared. They just fell short. They had bad luck. They deserve better, actually. The Giants could be 2-3 instead of 0-5. That's what I'm trying to get at. But they're in a lot of freaking trouble. I'm going to find I'll be in on Denver. I'll lay the points. Maybe I'll tease it to the under as well. But as I stated, we'll have some final picks for you. We'll have some final picks for you on the weekend edition of the program. No line right now for the Monday Nighter because it could be Matt Castle again. It'll probably be Mariota, but Castle's freaking terrible, man. Castle's terrible. Now, all right, before we get out of here, I told you guys one really cool feature. And I tell you what, as I really start to learn Youwager more, some great contests and loyalty points, and it's a fun book. They treat the clients right. It's a lot of good stuff they got going on. But we mentioned a 5% juice. And, Friday night's 5% juice. And Thursday nights used to be the big college football night for ESPN. Not big, but they'd go head-to-head with the NFL. And they had pretty good, they'd have Miami versus NC State, or they'd have a Clemson game or whatever. A lot of ACC football on Thursday nights. Now it's all crap for some reason, but it's almost like Friday nights become the new college night. And like I said, like Thursday night, we got Texas State and Lafayette on the damn board. I think it's probably because of the baseball. But I don't even know. Is there baseball? I don't even know why they do that. But anyways, Friday night, we got Clemson and Syracuse. Clemson laying 22.5 on the road. I bet on Syracuse the other day against Pittsburgh, and they got it done for me, but I wasn't overly impressed with them. I think Clemson are going to tattoo them. The total's 56.5 in that game. And we also got another real fun game here. Wazoo and California. How about Mike Leach and Luke Falk and company, man? These guys play themselves in a national championship conversation. But this is a trap game, man. They went in Oregon last week. They had a third-string quarterback. Cal's been getting beat up the last couple of weeks, but they've been on the road against tough teams. Cal, they've been playing on the road, and now Cal gets back at home. Cal's a better team than people give him credit for. I think it's a big trap game for Wazoo. I do like the Washington-California game a lot. I like this game to go over 53.5. I'm looking forward to watching this. I like the home team, though. I like the home team getting 14.5 points. Give me the Bears, man. I think, you give me 2 touchdowns with a live home dog. The pressure's going to start to mount on Wazoo right now. And I'll tell you what, I think Cal might be worth a little sprinkle on the money line at plus 450, over under 53.5. We'll have some picks for you on the weekend edition with the Raging Redhead Cam Stewart. And as I stated, as where I sit right now, I'll lay the 10 points with the Patriots. I'll lay the 2.5 / money line with the Jags. Give me the California Golden Bears plus 14.5 and over 53.5. Sign up at Youwager. Go over to sportsrage.org. Use my link. Tell them I sent you. Say promo code SportsRage. You won't regret it. You get a 100% sign-up bonus. All kinds of cool contest stuff. Support the podcast. You want this type of cool content in the podcast, then sign up at the book, guys. All right? Other than that, you're on your own. May the winners be yours. Later.